Hi, welcome to the Whitey Wicket Show. I'm Whitey, and there's some bad news today. A Chicago Bears legend, Steve Mongo McMichael, is in a vicious fight against ALS. This ain't ever how I envisioned this was going to end. That is freaking heartbreaking. Lifelong Bears fan, growing up in Northern Illinois, I got some Tecmo 3 rocking back there. Always plays the Bears. Um, Man, that it's just heartbreaking. The dude's been like part of my world since I've been in it. And I'll read this article. It comes from the Chicago Tribune. Brace yourself. This is not the Steve McMichael you're used to seeing. It. This gaunt 63-year-old man propped up on his elevator chair in the corner of his kitchen is struggling with basic movement. It just doesn't compute. The dude was amazing. If you ever got to see this guy play, I mean, he played nose tackle, but he had the effect on the game of a linebacker. I mean, the Bears won a lot of close games because he forced a fumble or a sack. Came up with key plays again and again and again for years. And Mongo. He was a big physical dude. This isn't the McMichael whom Chicago Bears has known over the last 40 years as a Chicago Bears great. A rollicking presence wherever he goes, an entertainer who fills whatever room he's in with his imposing stature, booming voice, and larger than life personality. Now McMichael, with his shoulders drooped and his hair I think that's a must, is craning his neck just so family friend Lori Demakis can spritz his face with water and refresh him. He slumps forward to wrap his lips around the straw extending from his coffee mug. Jesus. This is no longer the Steve McMichael, football warrior and five-time NFL All-Pro, who from 1981 to 1993 played 191 regular season games for the Bears and a dozen and more in the playoffs, all in a row. Now he can barely trudge across the room to show off his new high-tech wheelchair and invents hybrid model with both a sip and a puff, straw and head controls for steering. Jesus. This isn't how anyone would ever have pictured Michael, one of the beloved leaders and most colorful characters of the 1985 Bears, the only team in franchise history to win a Super Bowl. But here he is now in a vicious and unwinnable brawl against amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. Amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, ALS, often known as Lou Gehrig's disease, the progressive nervous system disease that is disrupting his brain's ability to communicate with his muscles. A little more than 3 months after being formally diagnosed, McMichael has chosen to reveal his condition. He has lost in the ballpark of 50 to 60 pounds, uh, now down near 200 and lighter than he was when he graduated from Fear High School, in Texas in 1976. He now needs his wife of 23 years, Misty, to feed him, help him use the bathroom, and give him sponge baths. He no longer can raise his arms or hold anything in his hands. Criminy. Full-time confinement in wheelchair likely is just around the corner. I promise you, Michael says, the epitaph that I'm going to have on me now. This epitaph that I'm going to have on me now. This ain't ever how I envisioned it was going to end. Among the reasons McMichael has chosen to offer a glimpse into his very intense battle with ALS, he wants the outside world to know the curtain has lowered on him, on his time in the public eye. There will be no more public appearances, no more performances with his band, Chicago 6, no more on-air analysis of the Bears on ESPN 1000. He will no longer sign another autograph. He has given his last show. I want everybody to realize why they're no longer going to see me around, McMichael says. At some point, the disease is expected to further obstruct his breathing and could eventually steal his speech from him as well. Fathom that. Steve Mongo McMichael, perhaps unable to talk one day. I'm pretty sure that's the last thing that's going to go, Mr. Jokes, just to spite me. Unsurprisingly, the McMichaels still have their sense of humor. There are also some incredible toughness and resolve to face each day on its own challenge, but taking on the disease is only to get more difficult. I thought I was ready for anything, McMichael says, but man, this will sneak up on you like a cheap shot in Green Bay Packer linebacker. It's a humbling thing, brother. I could read on, but you get the idea. This is tough. So, damn, it would take me longer to read this than this man has to live. So, I hate to see it. I hate to hear it. So I guess praying for a miracle on this one because I don't know this is a disease you survive. So, um, but I'm pulling for you, brother. Um, you know, if you got a fiver, donate it to a charity is something to try to pull off a miracle somewhere. So I'm gonna go. This is too damn depressing for me, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Cheers.